What we have for you today is a YouTube first review looking at the Sim Racing iCon pack from the wonderful people at iCon City. To put this in simple terms, it's essentially a button icon pack which you can use to weaponize your existing Stream Deck and turn it into an amazing tool, a button box for sim racing. Interested? Thought you might be. Let's get into it. A small disclaimer before we start. I was given this iCon pack for the purposes of this review by iCon City. They do not influence the review in any way. All words are my own and they see it exactly the same time as you. Just a small word about who they are. This company was started by a gentleman called James Richards about 2 years ago. He had a passion for graphic design. He's got a background with history with Apple. This platform is currently supported by Elgato themselves, and they make a variety of Stream Deck icon packs, some with pre-designated profiles, some not, all tailored to a certain experience. In this case, we are particularly interested in this, the Sim Racing Stream Deck icon pack. And as you can see, it's very nicely designed, it's very nicely laid out. And we're going to have a little bit of a look at how we use these, how we set them up, and whether it's any good. They are currently priced at £10, and you get 70 icons. Let's have a look. So here is a rundown of everything you get in this pack. The 70 icons included. What you notice at the top left there are some popular sim racing title icons. Now what I would note is there's some admissions, most notably Dirt Rally 2.0 and also Automobilista 2, but we've got all those icons there for the seat position. We've got all the corresponding light buttons as well, that's nice, ignition, traction control, etc. What I would note is the most noticeable admissions I did note when going through this is pit limiter and also traction control 2 for Assetto Corsa Competizione, and it would also be nice to have some buttons for shortcuts to the black box in. I do a lot of iRacing, things like relatives, standings, lap timings, tyre info, etc. What I would note is if you hop over to the iCon City Discord, Richard is constantly taking feedback for these icon packs, and I know he'll be listening keenly to the feedback I'm giving within this review, and he's constantly updating and looking for ways to improve. Once you do purchase a pack, you are entitled to the upgrades that come along the way. You don't have to repurchase it. You just need to register on the Discord. It's all very, very good. As you can see, there's lots of stuff covered here. There's not really many emissions, and ultimately, I think these look very, very pleasant to look at. Very clear, nicely differentiated. At present, there aren't any pre-installed profiles for your Stream Deck for the Sim Racing pack. You are going to have to program each separate simulator with its corresponding keybinds in order to get the buttons to work. Perhaps that's something iCon City could look at a little later down the line. However, it's not too much work and only requires a little bit of effort. Here we are in the controls menu, and we're just making a note of all the separate keybinds for Assetto Corsa Competizione because we're going to need to use them to input them to program the buttons in the Elgato Stream Deck software. It's not too hard, it just takes a little bit of time. Let's head over into the Stream Deck software. Let's just run through a brief demonstration of how to set this up with the Elgato Stream Deck. Here we're using a Stream Deck XL, and as you know, here is the familiar Elgato software. We're going to be using two tools from the system menu on the right hand side here, and that is hotkey and hotkey switch. I'm just going to drop these into the Elgato profile because we'll be needing these. Now, depending on whether the icon has two states, will depend on whether you need hotkey switch. And if it's a singular state, you'll just use hotkey. And what I mean by that is an ignition has an on and an off. So there's two separate icons to program in. And if you just want to click on flash to flash your lights or click on cycle lights to cycle your lights, that's just a single action. So that's hotkey. So let's demonstrate how to set up the hotkey switch. And what we'll do is we'll set up the ignition again. So here we are. You click on the button you want to program, and you want to click on this drop down arrow here and then click set from file. Now here we're setting the first image to press with the action, and we want to click the off action there. So then we'll open that up, and then what we'll have is we want to set the second image. So you click the little circle down here, and that takes us to the second image. Click the drop down arrow, set from file, and then you want to click the corresponding on image of the icon you're trying to set up, which is ignition on there, and then click open. And as you'll see, when we go from off to on, it'll demonstrate two different images. Set up the hotkey by clicking on the hotkey box, and I know this because we said it before. It is Control and I. Do that, and remember that it's a single action button when you're within the simulator, so the second hotkey for the on-off state will be Control and I, and it's as simple as that to set up the switch. So we'll just demonstrate how to set up a hotkey, and then it's pretty much rinse and repeat for the rest of the buttons with which you choose to race. So let's just set up the rain again. So we'll use light cycle. So we'll go to the drop down menu here, click set from file, go to cycle lights, click open, and then we're good to go. Now we just need to set up the corresponding keybind, click and click to assign. We know it's L, and that's it, job done. Now what you will find sometimes it'll populate with what you've just typed in there, so just to get rid of that, you need to click there, click backspace, and then you're good to go. If you want to move these around, just drag and drop. You can create different folders and things. It's very, very intuitive. Let's just do a quick little lap, or a little bit of a drive, and then we'll see how these work in practice. So we've got traction control there, and as you can see, we can tap those on the fly, and they work absolutely perfectly. Again, if you're focusing on a race, I can differentiate exactly what buttons are in the corner of my eye. So if, for example, if I just want to get my MFD up, bang, 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 and I've got that there. So that's really, really nice. I can also go back if I want to. Forgive the driving. Go forward, very good. Change the engine map if I want to, right? If it's raining, bang. And as you can see, it's clear enough that I know what buttons to push when I want to push it. And that really is it. You've got 70 items to choose from. I do think there are some things missing. Overall, I think most of the bases are covered, and it's a very nicely designed bit of media. I think the graphic design aspect is really nice. I think it's simple but pleasing to the eye, and more importantly, you can see them and they don't get lost in amongst themselves. So, all in all, very happy. So the big question, is it worth your hard-earned cash? Now, what you're getting here is 70 well-designed, good-looking icons for £10 that are ready to go and put into your Stream Deck. Other things I've touched upon that do need tweaking, but I do think in its present state, it is definitely worth the £10 asking price. I think it's good looking, it's easy to use, it's not hard to program at all. Now what I would say is Icon City also do some bespoke packs for things like BeamMG with pre-programmed profiles, which are pretty cool. Also F1 2022, and I have seen a sneak peek for F1 2023, which looks pretty cool as well. The guys at Icon City have been very kind and have given TTR subscribers a 10% discount. I would note that this is not an affiliate link, I do not get a kickback, but if you use the code TTR10 in the checkout, you will get a 10% discount off your purchase. Do you like this? Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you like this sort of content, give me a like, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys very, very soon. Take it easy. Bye for now.